Love is not always easy to define. Like, here's what Greg, who's 8 years old, said about love. Love is the most important thing in the world, but baseball's pretty good too. Here's what May, age 9, remarked. No one is sure why love happens, but I heard it has something to do with how you smell. That's why perfume and deodorant are so important. When asked about what falling in love is like, 9-year-old Roger said, it's like an avalanche where you have to run for your life. How would you define love? Well, there's no better place to go for a great biblical Christian definition than 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the famous love chapter. Listen to verses 4 and 5. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It doesn't boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. I mean, by this definition, we're living in a cultural moment right now that is the polar opposite of love. I saw Time magazine had an article called An Epidemic of Rudeness. And the article said some researchers point to the increase in what they called crude public discourse from both political leaders and in online discussions as a gateway drug to rudeness that has led to this current wave. Well, the good news is you and I, by God's grace and by the power of the Holy Spirit in us, can live out an alternative. So we're going to start talking about it this weekend at church, a 5-week series called The Lost Art of Love. I'll be preaching in all 3 English services, Saturday 6 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Plus, I will be revealing the Hope Center pledge totals. Will we be able to build or not? Plus, we're going to have a great, inspiring video recap of Easter weekend. Plus, Trent's back from sabbatical with some great worship music. Plus, a free welcome lunch at noon on Sunday over in the building next to Loft Coffee. So many great things. But let me leave you with this thought. As an exercise, go back to those verses and try this. Replace the word love with your name. Like for me, Rene is patient. Rene is kind. Rene does not envy. Rene does not boast. Rene is not proud. Rene is not rude. Rene is not self-seeking. Rene is not easily angered. Rene keeps no record of wrongs. That is not always true of me. I'll be honest. That's what I pray for. But you know who that's always true of? Jesus toward you. Jesus is patient. Jesus is kind. Jesus keeps no record of wrongs. Jesus never fails. When I behold his love for me at that level, that's when my character starts to change into that description of love, because perfect love starts to drive out fear, and I start to reflect that kind of love to other people. So a suggestion for you this weekend, read 1 Corinthians 13 and put in your name and then put in Jesus's name. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you at church